I haven't pulled the script up yet.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, we are now live on YouTube. We are now live on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome. Actually, I forgot to start the music. Now, good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into interesting and important happenings. Not only for that, but to possibly answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application, come from the website onthisday.com, and the smart device application's historical calendar and today in history. For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below, and all links gathered throughout the show will, of course, appear post live stream as usual. Anyway, I am Xander, and who am I joined by today?
Today you're joined by MTM.
And in the...
Straight.
Yes, we have Miss Ghost in the live studio audience. Yeah, today is, what is today? Freya's Day, aka Friday, January 12th, 2024. Let me get rid of this. Wow, this is from 2022, this script. I've had this script for 2 years. Holy crap. Anyway, let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 475. M, do you have your script up yet?
I thought you posted it in,
TDH Research.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, while he's doing that, we're going to start us off here at 475. Byzantine Emperor Zeno was forced to flee his capital at Constantinople, and his general Basilicus gained control of the empire. We know about Basilicus. You know, that's a name that's familiar. And then over here, once again, as I've said before, you know, anybody who's watching now who heard me talking last night in Planetside, 1493, last day for all Jews to leave Sicily. Every day, almost, there's some article about the Jews. You know, why does this keep happening? You know, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, at least he's talking about Zeno. He was a very important figure. I recommend everybody who's interested in practicing Stoicism research him. I'm a big fan of Stoicism myself. He's the godfather of that, yeah.
1528 here, we have Gustav I of Sweden was crowned King of Sweden. He ruled for 37 years and became known as the Father of the Nation. He already reigned since his election back in June of 1523 from another source here. So, that's interesting. That's my three. Are you ready to go, Em?
Yes.
All right. 1554.
We're 1554. Wow, that's a lot of vowels. Dianaung, who would go on to assemble the largest empire and the largest empire. Some of the largest empire in the history of Southeast Asia, was crowned King of Burma.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was weird. That's a typo.
Yeah, sorry about. I
No, it's my
figured.
bad. I'm the script writer.
Okay. Moving on to 1616. Oh my gosh, my Portuguese is terrible. The city of Belém, Brazil, was founded on the Amazon River Delta by Portuguese captain Francisco Caldeira Castelo Branco.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, that was so hot. Do it again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to, sorry.
Portuguese captain, the name is Francisco Caldeira Castelo Branco.
Nice.
Moving on up here to 1792. Federalist Thomas Pinckney was appointed first U.S. minister to Britain.
All right. Oops.
Oh, 1773. That's a good one. The first
yes.
public
Go for it.
museum is established in the North American colonies in Charleston, South Carolina.
Ooh, that is pretty cool. Huh.
Museums are a fantastic place to learn and a great place to take your date. Yeah.
Yes, I love museums. Oh man, dude. Like, have you been to LACMA yet?
No.
The Los Angeles County Museum of Art. That's where, like, you've probably seen it in music videos.
You
Like,
made that. Did you make that viral video there?
What?
With the? Did you make the domino effect video there?
No, that was at the Nixon one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The communist button video. Yeah, no. But no, LACMA. That's where all like you probably seen it in music videos and such. But like, there's this one area with like a bunch of like light poles, like all right next to each other. It's a whole thing, and that's an art installation.
Oh, very cool.
That's over at actually like let's see if I can search on Acosta LACMA light poles. Like I'll bring it up on my images right here, so that way you see what. Yeah, right here. You see this?
Oh, yeah. I have. Yeah. I have seen that
these,
before.
and they all light up too.
Very
like,
cool.
really interesting. Anyway, moving on up to 1803, the U.S. Senate approves Thomas Jefferson's nomination of James Monroe and Robert Livingstone to negotiate the purchase of New Orleans from France. And that later became the Louisiana Purchase. When was the Louisiana Purchase? Louisiana Purchase. Because this was 1803. Louisiana Purchase was 1803 as well. So, all right. So this happened in the same year at some point. But then 1808, John Rennie's scheme to defend St. Mary's Church, Reculver, founded in 669, from coastal erosion was abandoned in favor of demolition, despite the church being an exemplar of Anglo-Saxon architecture and sculpture. So they allowed a historic site to just go into the ocean. That's not cool. So.
No, I hate that. I love art.
Yeah. And that was actually that was from an different source here, because we also have 1808, the organizational meeting that led to the creation of the Wernerian Natural History Society, a former Scottish Learned Society, was held in Edinburgh. I don't know.
What do you think of that, Mr. Pajama wearing, daisy hat, straw hat, silly man?
Oh, you gotta love the Scotsman, man. He came back as a ghost. That was great.
That was great, yeah.
Oh man, I love that.
With like 100 daughters, he got busy.
He got really busy. Wow. He didn't just have a machine gun for a leg. Tell you what.
Yeah.
Yikes. But then, like, I forgot the name of it. There's a YouTuber. He does a lot of animations. Like, you've probably seen the Toothless Dancing meme. You know,
everyone has
you know.
Yeah.
Like,
my friend made that his profile picture. Yeah.
Of course. But Hiccup's dad, like, just like pops up out of nowhere, Scotland forever, and then just starts playing bagpipes out of his mouth. Like, anyway, what do we got here in 1848, Mr. M?
Paranormal. The Paranormal Rising took place in Sicily against the Bourbon Kingdom of the Two Sicilies.
Huh. That's weird.
Sicilian Civil War. Wow, try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, but which Sicily? If there's 2 Sicilies and it took place in Sicily, which Sicily did it take place in? That's a question. Anyway.
2 Sicilies pointing at each other in an alley. I'm Sicily. No, you.
You.
No, I am.
The Spider-Man meme, but there's only 2 of them.
Yeah. The Royal, we're going to 1866 here. Yeah, we're going to 1866. The Confederate thing is interesting too, but.
Well, go ahead and read it if you want. Oh, that's.
Oh, well, that's an important part of
American.
Like,
if there's anything you want to read, please do read it. I actually should add
Confederate President Davis delivers his State of Confederacy address in 1863. Yeah.
So that's their State of the Union, I guess.
Trouble brewing.
Yeah. Well, the trouble's already brewed. The war started in '61, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we go to '66.
The Royal Aeronautical Society was formed in London.
Ooh. Huh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's way before airplanes. What were they doing? Balloons?
Probably.
Because the Montgolfier brothers invented
Zeppelins and balloons, probably, yeah.
Royal Aeronautical Society, huh?
Yeah, and probably blueprints and stuff, you know.
A British multidisciplinary professional institution dedicated to the global aerospace community. But this was before airplanes, so it must have had something to do with balloons when they first were coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Likely.
Anyway, 72.
Johannes IV is crowned Emperor of Ethiopia in Aksum. First imperial coronation in Aksum in over 200 years.
Wow. Huh. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's because of like British, or like not just British, but like European colonization and whatnot. You know.
Well, they never got Ethiopia actually. That's why it's
Huh.
so prominent in the Rastafarian lore.
Didn't Italy take Ethiopia though in 49? No, 39. Sorry.
The viewer's gonna. I think that's a question for the viewer to double check that, because there's this whole Rastafarian lore about Haile Selassie being the third advent of Jesus Christ, or the second advent of Jesus Christ.
1895 here, the National Trust was founded in the United Kingdom. I think that's something to do with finances and whatnot. So, and then in 1896, the first X-ray photo in the U.S. taken by Dr. Henry Smith, Davison, North Carolina. Now, for those who do not know, X-rays are called such because when they first were discovered, they were called X-rays as an unknown, and the name was never changed. So now we know about that type of radiation, but we still call them X-rays. So, yeah. And then we're just going to move on up to 1911 here. Sorry if I'm skipping over anything. Let's see here. The university... Sorry?
Houdini.
Houdini? 1903, Harry Houdini performed at Rembrandt Theater in Amsterdam. Alright. Speaking of that, what do you call a magical owl?
Houdini.
Houdini. I heard that joke from Vanos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all did.
Anyway, 1911 here, the University of the Philippines College of Law was formally established. 3 future Philippine presidents are among the first enrollees. Don't ever let anybody tell you there's no such thing as elitism. So, and then 1913, we have the Man of Steel. No, we're not talking about Superman. We're talking about the Iron Curtain. So, after using other pseudonyms over the years, Joseph signed himself as Stalin, the Man of Steel, in a letter to the newspaper Social Democrat. Wow, so his last name wasn't even Stalin, it was whatever the hell that is. So, do you want to try to take a crack at pronouncing that name?
Duzgashvili.
Well, I have been humbled.
Joseph Duzgashvili. In Soviet Russia, last name pronounced you.
Yeah, it does. And then here in 1915, the U.S. House of Representatives rejected proposal to give women the right to vote. That's not nice. What the hell? Like, weren't we talking about, like, it wasn't yesterday, it was Wednesday.
Wasn't it?
Like, 1893 or whatever, or 18-something, like, they were trying to give women the right to vote, or they were talking about
I thought it was the 20s they got the right.
Well, that's when they did, but they've been talking about it since, like, the mid to late 1800s. But yeah, you know, they got their suffrage in 1919, I believe. Or 1921, actually. I'm going to go with 1921. Hold on. When was female suffrage USA? 1920.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, what do we got here in 1916?
Both. Ooh, what are we? Okay. That's this is off of the.
No, it's not.
Source.
It's just written differently.
Oh, okay. Both Oswald and Max Immelmann for achieving 8 aerial victories over Allied aircraft received the German Empire's highest military award, the Pour le Mérite, as the first German aviators to earn it.
Ah. All right, and yeah, they shot down 8 aircraft each, so a total of 16 between the two.
Oh.
Yeah. Huh. 1918. That's interesting on the main source. I should probably add that. Speaking of Jews, this actually is something good that happens to Jews. How about that for once?
Finland's Mosaic Confessors Law comes into effect, making Finnish Jews full citizens. Wow.
Hey, let's give that a cheer right there. Hell yeah. ooh, the mini pit disaster. Is that even? Oh, this is an off source. Go for it.
The mini pit disaster coal mining accident occurred in Holmel End, Staffordshire, in which 155 men and boys died.
Yeah. I was watching a video yesterday about, like, I think it was a colliery. Like, we know it's just a coal mine or something, but they also, like, had some zinc and other deposits and such in there, and, like, it was, like, right at the, like, the southern tip of, like, the British Isles, and it's, like, an underground mine, and it went underwater. It stretched as far as, like, a mile into the ocean, and, like, some of the tunnels were as close as 40 feet from like, between, just only 40 feet of earth from the ocean and, your head. And, like, back then, I don't remember who I was talking with, but, like, the whole aspect of a childhood is something that really came after the Second World War. Before that, kids didn't have summer breaks. They didn't, go out and, like enjoy themselves. No, like, you got off school, you went to your work, you went to help the family at the farm, you were put to a job. Like, there was no childhood, 100 years ago. And, right here, this was 1918, 155 men and boys. They're underage boys, working there, and that died. And that is awful. Can you imagine? Like, yikes. So.
Oh yeah, thank goodness. I'm kind of grateful for child labor laws. I mean, you could do more productive things in school, right? I'm not an advocate for children going back to work, of course, but you could definitely spend time productively better in school, and having better sleep schedules would be better for learning too, and better nutrition.
Hey, I see Ghost is in the YouTube chat. Hello.
Ghost, how do we sound on stream, by the way? I'm curious.
I'm not sure. I'm not listening to the stream, but Ghost is on Rumble as well. I see Castro. Hey, Castro, how you doing, man? But yeah, no, like, I agree, especially with how school and stuff is today. Like, it's not just that, they could be spending their time wiser. Is that what they're spending their time on is just sawdust filler garbage. That, like,
yeah. I've had math teachers, like, admit to me before, like I'm staying after school to, like, finish homework, and I've had a math teacher admit that the only time she uses the math that she's teaching us is to teach us that math.
I mean, like, how many times do you use the Pythagorean theorem? Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This former math teacher agrees. But when my students would ask that question, like, when are we going to use this? I said, look at your phones. That iPhone is using math right now.
Oh, yeah. When I was in school, they're like, oh, you're not going to, you have to learn this. You have to learn how to do things in your head. You're not going to have a calculator in your pocket for the rest of your life. Well, guess what, Miss Margaret?
Sure.
Like.
I never said that. You're right.
But no, like before we move on, does anybody else find it weird that in the United States, the law mandates children to go to school, and the economy makes it so that most people have to go to public school, which is government school, and they're mandated by law? That's a little weird, huh? I don't know.
That's based on funding. It's funding, isn't it? Because I know when I was doing research,
it's funding they take out of us via taxes. We don't have a say, No,
the government also gives them direct funding based upon the student head count. So the first day of school, that's why you hear them pushing for be there on the first day of school, because they can't attendance on the first day of school, and that's part of their funding is based on.
Ah, okay. Well, anyway, let's move on up to 1932, and this is okay. Yeah, it's written differently, but it's the same article, I believe. Yeah, go for it, M. MTM.
Excuse me. You're highlighting that 1932 bit there?
Yeah, yes. Like we have it on the script. It says something different, but it's the same article.
Okay. Hattie Cataway became the first woman elected to the United States Senate.
All right, and and she was a Democrat from Arkansas, specifically from our main source here.
Boo! Based on
Yeah.
my grumpiness, don't hire a woman. Because if I was in the Senate, I'd be a bitch.
Yikes.
Every fucking moment. It's true.
You heard it here, folks.
We
People,
did.
from a woman, don't
Yeah.
vote for women.
Do not do it. Women, based on my fucking monthly thing, I will destroy companies. I will destroy the Senate.
Look at my woman friend over here. Aren't you the greatest? She knows the best. Okay. We're gonna run the best business ever, and we're gonna pay women 75% of the minimum wage, okay? And we're gonna save so much money, you won't even believe it. It's fantastic.
Love that when Ghost said, like, oh, she's going to destroy the Senate, I just imagine her being like, I am the Senate. I love democracy.
1942. Oh, Timely Comics, actually, 1939.
Yeah.
Later became Marvel, and was founded by the American publisher Martin Goodman in New York.
Yeah.
And then comic book artist and Marvel creative lead Stan Lee came into place
Now, see,
and
it's
said,
funny,
Excelsior,
like,
follow your dreams.
it's funny. This is talking about Timely Comics, which was later Marvel, founded by Martin Goodman, and then we get Stan Lee. No, I don't want a picture of Stan Lee. I want a picture of Martin Goodman,
Yeah,
because it's talking
that is
about
kinda
Martin
weird.
Goodman, not Stan bloody Lee. You know?
But
He
everyone
has
everyone
enough
knows him
limelight.
because he's made like 1 million cameos in the Marvel movies, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't they also like do some things like where they're gonna like he was gonna make some cameos like after a couple years after his death? Are we already past all that? Or are they gonna start?
I don't know. I think that they were like arguing about the rights and likeness copyright in court for a little
Yeah.
while.
Well,
He's
like,
actually he was appearing in like the animated versions too. He was in like there's like an animated Spider-Man scene where he's in New York and Stan Lee is like selling hot dogs in the corner.
huh?
And someone picks up his hot dog cart and throws it at him, and then Spider-Man saves him in a net.
Oh man.
And he's like, "Thanks, kiddo."
Huh. Anyway,
something.
moving on up to 1942, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt created the National War Labor Board, and that's pretty self-explanatory right there.
Is it labor? Oh, it's labor board. I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
thought it
War
was-
Labor
I thought it
Board.
was
So like
bond for
a
second.
board of like okay, this is the war labor.
Mm-hmm.
Like like it's a board of directors directing people.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. And we're gonna do a 20-year jump here, and I know I'm skipping over some things, but MTM, get on my case. I have got to do research writing again. I have got to start getting back on.
Oh
that.
yeah.
So, we're gonna do a 20-year jump into
On a daily
1962
basis.
here. During Vietnam, Operation Chopper, the first U.S. combat mission in the conflict took place.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We also have 1962 as well. Operation Ranch Hand began. A U.S. Air Force operation to spray South Vietnamese forests with defoilants such as Agent Orange. And Agent Orange, we all know about that. Now, I'm about to say something that might get me into some hot water here on YouTube, but this is fact. You can look it up. Agent Orange, which is like like a deforester and all that stuff, and it causes cancer, and it's done horrible things to the Vietnamese people since then, and there's still people suffering from it. You know what they did? You know what Monsanto did with Agent Orange?
Oh, what did they do?
Made it into Roundup.
Oh my days.
It's literally the exact same thing, more or less. Like it's the same chemicals, probably something different here and there, a different ratio, but it's literally just a new age Agent Orange, because it kills weeds, doesn't it? Well, what does Agent Orange do? Defoil it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're spraying that on our food, and we're eating it, and people are getting cancer. People
Yummy.
ask me why I avoid Monsanto GMOs. Well, this is one of the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, you should grow your own food as much as you possibly can.
Good luck with that, because all the seeds are probably from Monsanto too. Anything you can buy, and now all that stuff is genetically engineered in the DNA of the seeds. You don't have to spray; it's in the seeds. It's part of the plant's genetics, and now you're eating it. Like really scary.
It tastes so good. It's tasty though. Yum.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to sound like Winning here. So, Winning Reality, by the way, anybody watching, go check him out. Really good streamer, does a lot of good stuff. him and and Mighty Meat and Talking Trash and Truce, and a whole bunch of people like from this community of collaborators I've mentioned several times on the show. Anyway, oops, I clicked the wrong thing. What else do we got here, Mr. M 1964?
Sure. Sorry, I was looking at some of the things you scrolled past. There's a couple of interesting things there.
Yeah, I know. This is why I'm saying I got to start getting back on research writing. So.
I don't want to get too attached to that stuff. 64 rebels in Zanzibar began a revolt known as the Zanzibar Revolution and proclaimed a republic.
All right. Yeah, and this was 1 month after their independence.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. We have a couple 66s here. We have quite a bit of 66s, actually.
The original Batman, starring Adam West as Batman, Burt Ward as Robin, and Cesar Romero as the Joker, debuts on ABC. That's I think that's the original one where they would have like the like title thing when they're doing cut, and the
with
and,
the
there's
comic
pow and
wham,
the bam on
bat,
screen. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like you can see here, Cesar Romero. If you watch the original Batman, if he's the Joker, you see that he kept his mustache. They just painted over it.
Yeah.
I always saw that. I'm like, why does he have a painted over mustache? What the hell? It's because he didn't want to shave it off, so they just painted over it. So he was basically like the reverse Superman, if you think about it. Because remember, who was it? Henry Cavill, right? Was Superman, and he was growing a mustache for some other movie, and they had to CGI his mustache away during the when they were doing the Superman. He was under contractual obligation not to shave it off. So that's why we have the weird.
Really interesting. Everyone, with a few exceptions, has method acted to play Joker by doing a lot of drugs. I think Jared Leto might be the exception, but not a lot of people like his Joker.
Jared Leto was a horrible Joker.
Yeah,
he was trying too hard, and you look at Heath Ledger. The only person to come close to Heath Ledger is Joaquin Phoenix, in my opinion. And, Jack Nicholson.
And that's not even like. Well, I mean, it's Joker, but it's Joker during his origin story. It's his Joker. It's the Joker arc of the Joker.
Yeah, and some people say that he's not even the actual Joker. He's actually the inspiration of the next Joker, because he's already 20, 30 years old, and then Bruce Wayne's a little kid. By the time Bruce Wayne is in his mid-20s to be Batman, this guy Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is going to be in his 50s or something, and he's not gonna, one hit from Batman is gonna kill him,
Yeah, that's why he's so dependent on tech, the same way Batman is. That's why they're such good rivals.
Yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here in 66?
LBJ, U.S. to remain. LBJ says the U.S. should stay in South Vietnam until the communist aggression ends.
Well, that didn't happen.
Well, yeah. Well, it's because they changed presidents during the war, So.
Oh yeah.
It happens. It happens often, It's same thing that happened with W and Barack too. It's like Barack pulled the troops out and then created a power vacuum there, right?
Now Nixon came after Johnson, right? Because Kennedy got shot in '63, then Johnson was there, and then and then Nixon came in after, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. I'm getting some comments here. Ooh, Lady on the Sky. The final season of the Batman series, Eartha Kitt was Catwoman, also singer of Santa Baby. All right.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Lady Autumn. How you doing today? Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. 1967 here, we have Dr. James Bedford became the first person to be cryonically preserved with intent of future resuscitation. Remains preserved at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation. Well, you know, I believe that they have Walt Disney frozen on ice somewhere.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say Walt Disney, like, ooh,
Yeah.
pretty nice. You see the meme? You ever see the meme with the guy looking around the tree, waving his hands together, like?
Oh yeah, the guy.
Yeah. Walt Disney be like.
Yeah.
On this day.
Exactly.
1967, Louisville, Kentucky draft board actually refuses exception for boxer Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. A lot of like nobody gets special treatment just because you're a celebrity or whatever, you know, and I'm all for that. Like,
well, wasn't his thing that he was his thing that I don't remember what his proposed exemption was that he was
Muslim. He was trying to do a religious
Muslim.
exemption.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because he was celebrity or because he was Muslim.
No, it's because he was a Muslim, and then he tried to do a religious exemption, and they're like, that ain't gonna work. You know, you want a religious exemption, you gotta fight for it. Freedom ain't free. You know, like people only have that option because people are going out there fighting and dying for that option. You're gonna be one of them. You know, like there is no special. Like
my uncle-in-law, I guess you would call him, my uncle's brother actually was on a truck I think he was in Vietnam. He was on a truck actually, and they went over a big bump on the road while driving through the jungle, and then he fell off and broke his arm.
Oh.
And what was crazy was the truck actually drove into some ambush or landmine, and everyone on it died.
Holy.
So yeah,
wow.
Some amazing karma.
That's not really karma. That's like lucky, dude. Like, you know, oh, I broke my arm, but at least
yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
dead,
like it's the process of action, right? He had to have the karma of like breaking his arm at the cost of surviving, right? Like you.
Yeah,
You
well,
have a suffering to avoid. You have a suffering to continue, living in existence, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild though. That's I'm just wondering though, like, you know, was there anybody else around him? Like, you know, like, did he get captured by the ambushers or?
No. He he fell off and then like called out to the squad that he had fallen off, and they stopped the truck because they realized he fell off, and attended to him and got him medical. And then later, the truck got blown up.
Okay, so it was later then. Okay, it wasn't like they just kept going and then they got shot up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see here. What do we got here? 1969. You want to take this?
Really, I cannot skip the one right before this highlighted one. I don't know why this is not highlighted. But the Atlantic Records releases Eponymous? Eponymous? How do you say that word? It's an SAT word.
Eponymous?
Eponymous debut of Led Zeppelin in the U.S.
Eponymous. I've never heard of that word. Let's look this up.
That's an SAT word, yeah, for sure. I should know that.
Of a person giving their name to something, or of a thing named after a particular person or group.
Yeah, so it's named after the incident, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we also have the New York Jets of the U.S. Football League defeated the Baltimore Colts of the National Football League to win Super Bowl III in what is considered to be one of the greatest upsets in sports history. 16-7, with most valuable player being Joe Namath of the New York Jets. He was a quarterback. That's look at this guy. He does not look like he used to be a quarterback. He looks so skinny, you know. But I guess it's not the quarterbacks who are all beefy. That's the linebackers, right? Oh, I don't really know much about football.
Quarterbackers have to be
like nimble?
fit. Yeah, nimble, so they can jump around people that are trying to tackle them and then make good throws. Linebackers are the guys blocking for the quarterbacker.
Yeah. And then 1970 here. This is This appears to be off source. Biafra was capitulated, ending the Nigerian Civil War. Ooh. So, yeah, we were talking about African nations earlier, and here's Nigeria. King, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
Good, good. We're going to move on up into 1971. The Harrisburg 7, Reverend Philip Berrigan and 5 other activists were indicted on charges of conspiring to kidnap Henry Kissinger and of plotting to explode the heating tunnels of federal buildings in Washington, D.C. Whoa.
Huh.
So right here, yeah, this is a same thing, different wording. Reverend Berrigan and 5 others, including a nun and 2 priests. Whoa. So, like, a whole bunch of church people were like, oh, hey, let's kidnap Henry Kissinger, because that's intelligent. Like,
That's
yikes.
crazy.
And didn't he die
Yeah,
recently?
that's a wild plot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kissinger died like a couple months ago, right? Yeah, November 9th, the 29th,
29th,
at the age
yeah.
of 100.
Oh.
Holy cow.
He
He's
made it
old.
to 100, but Betty White didn't? I call bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Yeah. Then moving on up to 1976, the United Nations Security Council voted 11-1 to allow the Palestine Liberation Organization to participate in the Security Council debate without voting rights. Ain't that a bitch? You know, like, I don't want to get into this whole thing, especially with what's going on today, but because it's a hot button issue right now. But I mean, dude, they were there first, and then they're not even getting voting rights. They're just getting recognized while they're getting stomped by people who are forced in there. Like, what the hell? What the absolute hell?
That'll happen here soon enough.
Yeah. The truth is coming out, though. People are getting pissed off and getting tired of being spoon-fed all these lies, and they're realizing what reality is. Like,
Yeah, they're really finding out in these sanctuary cities.
yeah. I mean, as I was talking with Em, about last night prior to the show, I was talking with a bunch of people on Planet Side 2. And they were all talking about, current events and everything, and I was talking about history, and I dropped the information that, we do a history show. It's like, yeah, like, I'm literally watching it be rewritten, because the things I have to, today, from a year ago, it's different. From a year before that, it was different. Like, I'm literally watching it in real time, if you can call it that, throughout the years, things changing. And after I told them that, like, Omni Coalition here got, like, 5, 6, 7 some odd new subscribers. Like,
Nice.
yeah, really awesome stuff. So, hello everybody in Yeeb, how you all doing,
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway, we're
Running's
gonna move on up
finite.
to 1986 here. King, you want to read a couple?
I'm not...
Well, we have an off main source here, actually, so, I know MTM has a script. MTM, you want to take 86?
Sure. Oh. Sorry. I was looking at the page, not the script for a second there. They're both interesting things. Congressman Bill Nelson lifted off from Kennedy Space Center aboard Columbia on mission STS-61-C as a payload specialist.
Dude, like, think about that. A sitting congressman went out and did a mission in space. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I have I was just reading a really interesting article about that I posted in our research channel.
Huh.
They are sending former presidents to space, I believe.
Huh.
Where is it?
I thought they made a rule about it that after the Challenger, not to send people up who aren't astronauts.
Well,
This was like a couple days ago. NASA launched a $13 billion rocket carrying the human remains of former presidents to the moon.
oh wow. So, like, what's it gonna do? Like, soft land and just deposit, or is it gonna orbit?
Washington, Kennedy, and Reagan are among the well-known space burial recipients.
Wait, wait.
Can
they
we
said-
leave them up there?
Hold on, time out. Did you say George Washington's remains are now heading to the moon?
Correct.
What?
What?
The plans to bury the remains on the moon were heavily
Why?
protested by the Navajo
Why?
Nation. and it was described as a little disturbing.
Yeah,
Because we can.
because America, that's why. Wow, that's wild. Like,
I don't know the, it doesn't,
tell me more
I
about this,
can't,
man. Like,
Crazy.
yeah, we'll have to talk more about this on TOCNS, our
yeah,
show.
well, could you put that in the peanut, please? I'm pretty sure Alice would love to talk about that too.
Okay.
I'm all for sending politicians to the moon.
Yeah, one-way trip.
One-way trip.
Did they send skeletons to the moon, or was this like cremated stuff?
No, well, George Washington's remains, it's just skeletal now. Like, they're probably sending, like, his toenail or something. I don't know, like...
Did they put a helmet on top of the skeleton?
Yeah.
It's like a tiny piece of flesh attached to, like, the wooden teeth.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so
Uh,
No.
I bet that just smells great.
Anyway, let's move on up here. In 1990,
No.
a 7-day pogrom broke out amidst the Armenian civilian population in Baku, Azerbaijan, during which Armenians were beaten, tortured, murdered, and expelled from the cities. So, and pogroms usually, like for anybody who doesn't know, pogrom, here we go again, it's about the Jews, mostly.
Oh boy.
But a pogrom is a violent riot incited with the aim of massacring or expelling an ethnic or religious group, particularly Jews. The term entered the English language from Russian to describe 19th and 20th century attacks on Jews in the Russian Empire. Similar attacks against Jews, which also occurred at other times in other places, yada yada. So, yeah, if anybody wants to know more about pogroms, let me add this pogrom. Probably not a good idea to have this the word in the underbar, but whatever.
Gosh, Azerbaijan is such a, thinking about that place just makes me so, espresso depressio, bro.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful country with wonderful culture, very beautiful women as well, and now it is just oil mine to shit. It's just oil runoff and smog and crap everywhere.
You see, like, you look around at all the stuff, coinciding with what you're saying, MTM, and, like, you look at all the war and everything, and, like, like, it used to be wars were about, like, only about, like, land or religion or this or that. Well, now every war is about God. And by God, I mean gold, oil, and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Every war is about that God. Not the Lord in heaven, but, yeah. But what do we got here in 1990? This is a little annoying here, like, or beyond annoying, but yeah.
Oh, Al Sharpton, eh?
Yeah.
Civil rights activist Reverend Al Sharpton is stabbed in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
That's not nice.
And then,
It was like
this is why I love Romania. Romania is based. In 1990, Romania banned communism. The Communist Party is banned. That's
Nice.
why I hang out there and I drink sparkling water. I drink sparkling water and coffee all day. And then I have 3 steaks.
My favorite beefcake is from born in Romania. I love
Did
Romania.
you fall to your share laughing at my Andrew Tate impression?
Yeah, I couldn't handle
That's
it.
nice.
Thank you.
I had to sit down. I couldn't take it. Oh my god. Woo! Romania is based. Oh my god. I can't.
Communism is garbage. We don't need that.
Oh,
If you're
man.
practicing communism, you're broke. You're fucking poor.
I don't
He
even
always
know
does
what
that. I like
you're
start
mimicking, but
laughing
it's
really maniacally and then just cut it off.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, what do we got
Nice.
here in 91 though?
The Persian Gulf War, as an act of U.S. Congress, authorized the use of the U.S. military force to drive Iraq out of Kuwait. Oh, jeez,
Yep.
Louise.
Yep, here we go. Yeah, setting up the stage for, Herbert Walker's son to play Revenge for Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, freaking Al Qaeda destroyed the Twin Towers. Let's invade a country that has nothing to do with them because that makes sense.
We gotta deny them terrorists the recruitment tools to stop them from doing stuff. Now watch this drive.
Yeah. Man, we're
Oh,
skipping over
sorry,
a
that's
lot of
that was
stuff
not
here.
funny.
Um,
Where are we here?
1997, I believe this is outside of, well, actually, it's not outside of source, but I have a lot longer of an article here. Atlantis was launched from the Kennedy Space Center on mission STS-81 to the Russian space station Mir, carrying astronaut Jerry M. Leininger for a 4-month stay on board the station, replacing astronaut John E. Blaha. Blaha, that sounds like an aggressive sneeze. Blaha! I'm sorry. Anyway, 1998, 19 European nations agreed to forbid human cloning. Alright. I don't think that stops anybody, though. Like, shadow stuff, behind closed door stuff, you know. And then in 2004, the world's largest ocean liner, RMS Queen Mary 2, made its maiden voyage. Hey! I've been to the original one, the Queen Mary. It's just out there on Long Beach. So have you been to the Queen Mary yet, Em?
Can't say that I have.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Sharktopus?
No.
Oh, Sharktopus. Hold on a second.
Queen
One of
Mary.
the best scenes in cinematic history was filmed at the Queen Mary for this movie. And let me play this really quick. Like, this might
Best
get
acting.
copywritten, so if any...
Oh,
so,
well, now I have to watch it if it's the best acting ever. That title can't lie to me, right?
Oh, yeah, no, watch this.
Oh no! Not like this!
So, yeah.
Wow.
Perfect. It's beautiful. I love it.
I know, right? So,
He was very much not into vor or tentacle porn.
Vor,
That's why
what's
he's made that
that?
reaction.
Anyway, 2005, what do we got? Actually, King, do you want to read a couple?
Alright, 2005 Deep Impact Space Mission launches from Cape Canaveral. Canaveral? There, on a Dallas Delta II rocket.
Ah, that's interesting. Didn't the movie Deep Impact come out, what, 96? So, that's a little, like, of an eyebrow raising of a title for a space mission. Like, what's going on?
Art imitates life, life imitates art. It's kind of a back and forth at
That
this
is
point.
very true.
Yeah.
And then that makes me think about Apophis, you know, that comet that's coming over. Like, yeah. So, get your affairs in order, people. We might blow up. So we'll
Where
see.
are we going from here?
2006. King can read 2 more if he wants to take his full
Alright. 2006, a stampede during the stoning of the devil ritual on the last day of Hajj in Mina. Saudi Arabia kills at least 362 Muslim pilgrims.
Wow.
Wow. Right.
You know, like,
What was the stampede of? Like, what
just,
animal? I
just
wonder.
people
Yeah.
like,
Was it?
stepping over
Oh,
each
just
other,
people.
like,
Yeah.
Like, because we talked about the Hajj the other day, right, M? Like,
Right. Yeah.
but like, you know, it turned into kind of like a Black Friday situation. There's so many people that, like, people in the back wanted in, and people in the
Right.
front were getting crushed. You know, like, it's not good. So, and let's see here, 2007, this one here, Mr. King.
That's your last one.
2007, comet McNaught reaches I don't know what the hell that is.
Perihelion.
Perihelion, becoming the brightest comet in more than 40 years. Wow.
And the perihelion, for those who do not know, is the closest approach to any astral body towards another. So, like, the perihelion of a comet is when it's closest to the sun. You know, the perihelion of, like, you know, because all the planets were not in a perfect circle rotation. We're kind of like in an oblong obelisk.
It's an axiom. Yeah.
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 I think it's the
So
word.
we on Earth here have a perihelion to the sun too. You know, but it happens like you know, once a year or something. I'm not sure when it is, but yeah. Anyway, MTM 2010. Here we go.
An earthquake devastates Haiti, killing approximately 160,000 and destroying the majority of the capital, Port-au-Prince.
Yeah. Now, I have a discrepancy here. From another source, it says that the deaths were between 220,000 and 300,000 people. So, at least 160 is correct. Sorry, what's up, Ghost?
Port-au-Prince. Sorry. It's French.
Yeah.
Port-au-Prince.
Yes.
Ah, my apologies.
You said it cute.
My French is terrible. I'm actually in a server with some French speakers, and every time I try to speak French, they're like, "Bro, your French is so cursed. I love it."
It is glorious. But when you said Port-au-Prince, sorry, I had to say something. It's beautiful.
Owie. We got a off main source here article 2012.
Violent protests occurred in Bucharest, Romania, as two-day-old demonstrations continued against President Traian Basescu's economic austerity measures. Clashes were reported in numerous Romanian cities between protesters and law enforcement officers.
All right. Now, if anybody sees anything leading up to 2020, like
great show, True Detective, a crime drama starring Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, debuts on HBO.
All right.
Yes, fantastic show. I think some of McConaughey's best acting, in my opinion.
It does sound like a good team up.
I like Sahara. I know a lot of people hate it, but I liked it. But then again, I have very.
But he's like a completely different person in that he's like a retired cop with PTSD who's being interviewed about a cold case, and he has like a full beard and makeup on, and he's like smoking and drinking the whole time.
I'm trying to find a scene. I don't even know what the movie is, but there's a scene in Matthew McConaughey, like he's on a boat talking to somebody, and then like some lady like walks up like holding dishes or something, and then she sees him, she freaks out. He's like, "Hi, honey," and she just like throws the food on the table and walks away. It's really funny. I wish I could find it. Like, 1 second. Scene. Yacht. I can see it. No, I'm not gonna find it. Anyway, what else do we got here? If there's anything you see, as I said, I'm doing a quick scan here. You're oohing about something, King?
Is it boo?
Oh, boo. Yeah.
Really? Missy Elliott? That's kind of crazy. In 2019, Missy Elliott becomes the first female rapper to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
That's pretty cool.
What is her...
What's
her, like, most played song?
Never heard of it. So.
I don't know, probably something rapping.
She's pretty...
It's the rain one.
Oh.
And the I Can't Stand the Rain one. I love her videos. They're awesome. She's ahead of her time, that's for sure.
Well, let's take this 2021 here, the Tal volcano.
Alrighty. The Tal volcano, 70 kilometers or 45 miles for us using freedom units, south of Manila in the Philippines, begins erupting, prompting evacuations.
And it also killed 39 people, according to another.
Oh,
source.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was reading off the site, not the script.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
like, yeah. That's the only real edition I have, like, involving that. So, hold on, I'm adding things here. 2023, King, why don't you read this one if you don't mind?
2023. That's like Toadzilla.
Yeah.
Toadzilla, a large cane toad. There we go. Gary, and unofficially the world's largest toad at 2.7 kilograms, discovered in Conway National Park, Australia, as an invasive pest. Later, euthanizing. You euthanize it? You could just relocate the damn thing.
I know, right?
It's
wow,
biggest
look at
one
the size of
ever.
this thing. Come on, load. That is huge.
That would be great to have in a zoo, yeah, but The problem with big boys like this is if they ever manage to find a mate, they're gonna get busy and then have a bunch of giant baby toads running around too.
Yeah.
That's what people are afraid of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant
And I don't want to read this one, so yeah, let's just.
We're gonna move on to.
We're
gonna move on to bursts here.
I'm just gonna do some like a quick looky-loo to see if there's any like interesting people like who was born today. Tim Horton, you know, founder of Tim Hortons. Anybody who's Canadian, you know, they know about Tim Horton. He was born on this date, 1930. Let's see here. Bernardine Dorn. It's telling me to Google her. So let's see here. Bernardine Dorn. A retired U.S. law professor and former leader of the far-left militant organization Weather Underground. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Huh. Rush Limbaugh. I know that name. 1951. Howard Stern. 1954. Bezos. Ugh. Jeff Bezos, born here in 1964. Rob Zombie, 1964 as well. Jeff Bezos and Rob Zombie are the exact same age on the day. That's crazy. And Elephant! Happy birthday, Elephant! I'm pretty sure she's not happy about sharing her birthday with Jeff Bezos, though. But, you know. But Rob Zombie...
It's okay. She can hang out with Rob Zombie. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, she's an awesome person I met in the COC. You know, that I call them the community of collaborators. So, yeah. Let's see here. Deaths. Francois Bigot. What a name. Andreas. Oh, Jesus. Papa Gynakolakopoulos or something.
She's Greek, so.
Let's see here. And that's about it. So, anyway, I'll let you wrap us up here, Mr. M.
Alrighty. That is it, and it's up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, and a yearning to see outside of what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who we see their opinions differently from your own, and find a better way to be better to one another. And that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar description below for any links you may be interested in, including, but not limited to, all things Omni Coalition. We're not just on Rumble or YouTube, we also are on BitChute and Odyssey for select shows. Links to those, our social medias, and more in our Linktree. For your daily dose of past events daily, we stream almost every day at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. You want to do that little rhyming scheme you've got there going on?
Yes, we have other shows here. We don't just do this history show. We have the Omni Coalition news show, TOCNS. You know, weird, odd, and unusual notable events, weather, and sports. That's actually coming up here in about 3 hours from now. And we have The Edge of Disclosure, ThEoD about UFOlogy, paranormal, conspiracy, science, technology stuff. Saturday at 3. We have Kicking the Peanuts, you know, talking about anything really. You know, Sunday at 3. And then we have other shows we're still trying to get off the ground, like Omni Kitchen and Inosh and everything. But if you're interested in watching us on our streams live, if you're in the West, it's 11 and 3, all for thee. Mountain, 12 and 4, watch us for more. Central, 1 and 5 for the Contrive. East, 2 and 6 for your fix. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I'm MTM.
King's Refuge.
And of course, we have Ghost in the live studio.
I'm somewhere. I don't know.
Well, you are a ghost, so it's,
say your name, say your name.
Kind of in between existences, it's okay.
I'm a ghost.
She is a ghostery. She's the hostery. So anyway, and of course, you viewer are you. Thank you very much for watching, be it live stream or at some point in the time-space continuum. And until you catch us again, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Deuces.